Welcome one and all to this sort of Let's Play video, even though I generally hate the term Let's Play. Makes it sound like we're all 5-year-olds. Anyway, so I've been privileged enough to be given early access to the Norske DLC, and this is my campaign so far. I've covered a lot of ground, and this may look like I've done a lot of work, but it's actually really easy to gain control of Norske, and I'll go through that a bit later on. But for now, I've been hunting a monster, and we found him. The little bastard's over here. Well, I say little bastard, it's a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth that I've been hunting down, and I'm going to go and chop his face off so I can get a free lightning spell, even though it's not really free because I have to beat him for it. So I've had to do a few missions to get to this point before I got this. It's kind of like quest battles, you have to do things. You can see I've got to fight 2 Shaggoths, Manticores, Dragon Ogres, and the big Dragon Ogre Shaggoth himself. So yeah, probably not going to be easy. I'm bringing as much anti-large as well, not as much anti-large as I can, but I brought a fair amount. I think I should be right. This is my army. This is Wulfric. I've done the campaign as Wulfric. I do have Throg in my power now as I've subdued him and made him my trolley bitch. Can't remember where he is. I think he's over here somewhere. There he is. He's just chilling out in town, trying to sort out some public order. There is a lot of problems with that at the moment. But yeah, overall, enjoying the Norske campaign. It's got some really different mechanics which make it awfully fun. The monster hunting thing and the raiding thing. But the main reason I wanted to put up a video early before release is mainly for my subscribers, so I can give you a kind of overview and just some advice on what I found so far in the Norske campaign and on how Norske play in battle. Because that can be one of the hardest things with a new faction, is when you first use them in battle, you will get destroyed because you don't know any of the units, you don't know how they work, and that's what that happens to me. So I figure if I can give you a few tips before you go into playing Norske, it'll set you off better and you'll probably enjoy it more, because I can imagine it's very frustrating for people who are newer to Total War. They come in, they play a new faction, they get destroyed because they don't know what they're doing with it, and it just makes you not want to play. So if I can use my frustration with learning a new faction to aid yours, then we're all good. So one of the first things that's nice with Norske in the campaign is that it's pretty easy to confederate most of the northern lands. All you have to do to get a confederation with one of the tribes is beat their leader. So for example, one of the tribes became really big pretty quick. They took about 8 settlements. All I had to then do was track down their leader, which did actually take me a while. But when I found him, all I had to do was beat him in battle, and then I was able to get a confederation with him, and those 8 places became mine instantly. So just from that I took about half of Norske. But of course do be aware of the potential money and public order risks that you are going to inherit. Now let's advance this on and see what happens. We can move towards our monster hunt. Do be aware of other factions coming across the seas, of course. Nordland are on the edge of the coast there. Bretonia even came over and had a crack at me, took out one of my places. Oh, someone wants peace. Awesome. Raiding, of course, is the other big thing for Norske. I tend to raid whenever I can, even if the faction's not my enemy. Still give them a little raid, because I'll probably be at war with them at some point anyway. Okay, this is the Monstrous Arcanum. I actually missed this till kind of later in the game. I didn't realise it was there. But these are all the monsters I could go after. I went for the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth one. Some of them you actually get the monster to recruit, and some of them you just get spells and buffs and things. I chose the one that gave the lightning spell just because I wanted to go after the Shaggoth, and I assume most people go after the first one, so I went for the last one instead. Why not? Okay, I think it's about time to get into this. Okay, it's quite in our favour, but I do feel they're underestimating Dragon Ogres and Dragon Shaggoths. For those of you that do follow my channel and you know that I do campaigns, you're probably wondering, am I going to do a Norske campaign? And I'm going to tell you, no, I am not doing a Norske campaign. Yet. I think I'm going to do one for Warhammer 2. I'm going to do a mega campaign as Norske, because they are an awesome faction and I love them, and they may be my new favourite faction. We'll see. I'm still, of course, learning how to play as Norske, so...
Cut the Shaggoth off, my lord, but you should tread with care. Tregard is more ancient and powerful than most others of his kind. Bringing him down will be no easy feat. Swarming him with several units at once may not be the best course of action. He is strengthened by the power of raging storms that can cause significant damage. Something glows in the sky overhead.
Okay, I am well and truly terrified. Let's arrange ourselves here. I'm going to put my spearmen as the front line, as they are of course anti-large and have the charge defense, so when all this stuff comes rushing into me, they should be able to protect us, hopefully. Now, followers of my channel will of course know that I do army guides for all the factions. I teach you how the army works on the battlefield, how they play, what you should look out for, what you should do, who sucks, who doesn't. And yes, before you all start asking, I will be doing one for Norske, but of course I have to first learn how they work. So this is kind of the beauty of early access for me, is that I can kind of get a head start on learning them, which of course means I can do my guide sooner. Now, I'm putting my javelin men out on the flanks and I'm protecting them with skin wolves. And my first note to make on Norske actually is that javelin men are awfully powerful. They are a very good unit. They can do a lot of damage very quickly. If you've played any of the older Total Wars, you'll know that javelin men are very powerful. Shorter in their range, of course, than bows, but they can be pretty devastating. And somehow, the Norske Javelin men have an anti-large bonus on their missile, which is kind of weird because normally anti-large is applied to the melee attack. So I'm not really sure how it applies to missiles, but apparently it does. So they're great at taking down monsters, our Javelin men. Anyway, we're moving up now on this dragony death army that is coming towards us. I'll try and show you the units a little bit quickly. We'll just fly by everyone. So we've got my spearmen at the front. They're of course going to take the brunt of the attack. Javelin men behind them. Ice trolls, skin wolves. I do love the skin wolves. I've got a particular affinity for werewolves. Anyway, shut up. It's time to kill dragon ogres. Okay, let's get the spearmen right onto... Actually, stop. Everyone stop. We've got the charge defense against large. If I run into them, I'm not going to get it. So I've got to stand still. And hopefully that should save us a bit of damage. Okay. You start firing on anyone. Skin wolves, get into them. Skin wolves are anti-large, of course, so they're good for taking down large monsters. Although they are relatively fragile, so you do have to be a little bit careful. Trying to overwhelm things seems to be the best plan for Norske. Keeping my berserkers and stuff out of the fight for now, because they're kind of food for all these dragon ogres. I'll let the anti-large wear them down a bit, the spears and the wolves, and then we'll bring the berserkers in. These warhounds, not sure they're going to be much use. These are ice wolves rather, not warhounds technically. Javelins, very important here I think. The javelins are going to be really the saving grace. We'll try and fire on the big man himself. Treguard Mountain Cleaver, that is his name. Don't know if I said that. That is his name. And it's looking bleak. So I think Norske kind of play like the Beastmen. They're quite light in their armour and they've got better leadership than the Beastmen, but still not fantastic. I'm going to use my ice chariot here to try and stop these dragon ogres getting me hunters. Bringing in the berserkers as well. Berserkers are pretty awesome. They get stronger the longer they fight, basically. So if you can keep them in combat, they're going to get buffs as they go on, which makes them even tougher. Just killed a Shaggoth there. So yeah, berserkers I think are one of the mainstay of the army. But like any lightly armoured powerful troop, they need to be protected from missiles and cav charges. Because they don't have any armour, they will get messed up pretty quick from all that stuff. So you have to be kind of fast. You can't allow yourself to take too much damage. Much like the Beastmen, missiles can be the bane of them. And of course Norske have the strong monsters like the Beastmen do, but the difference is that Norske are very good at dealing with monsters. They've got a lot of strong anti-large units like these javelins, like the skin wolves, like their spearmen. Hold on, is this the lightning spell that's destroying me? Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realise it was such a massive area of effect thing. That looks quite dangerous. Wulfric's in here as well. He's anti-large as well as Wulfric, so he's going to be good in this crowd, just cutting down whatever he can. But yeah, the Beastmen don't have good anti-large. They've only got the crappy spearmen and the very expensive Minotaurs. So it's similar to the Beastmen, but with some very distinct advantages. I think we're finally starting to win this battle now. I think the Javelin men are winning it for us. This campaign is on very hard, so I wasn't really sure what to expect from this, because a lot of monsters can be a problem, unless you've got millions of spears. And the Marauder Spearmen actually aren't too bad. They've got a pretty good amount of melee defense, so they can sometimes be the best choice for a front line, because they'll hold longer. Then you can flank around with Berserkers and stuff, who are pretty quick on their feet. So yeah, Spearmen can be a good front line unit. If not, Marauders or Berserkers can be a good one, but like I say, they need a bit more protecting. Of course, you have your things like Mammoths as well, who I haven't used too much yet. I've used them a bit. I haven't used them in campaign because they're very expensive, or I don't have one in this campaign yet because they're very expensive, but they do just destroy all infantry. They might be overpowered, they may get nerfed as time goes on, we'll see, but they are very dangerous to any kind of infantry. Even like Spearmen seem to struggle with them. The first custom battle I tried, I took one against the Greenskins and it got 300 kills. So I think that kind of says it all. It just rampaged through the Greenskins, no problem. I think we've got this one won. Our Javelin men have stayed safe behind the Berserkers there. We've just got to take down Trevold, or whatever the hell his name was. Still got a fair bit of life though. He's a tough cookie to crack. I don't think that's quite the right sentence. Tough nut to crack. You don't really have to crack cookies, they're not that tough. Anyway, what else is there to say about Norske? They don't have any cavalry actually. They have no melee or shock cavalries. They have a bunch of missile cavalries. They're the same ones that the Chaos have actually, so exactly the same. So a bunch of missile cavalries, and skin wolves really are the closest thing you'll get to a cavalry. Because they're good at taking on cavalry as well, they're probably best used for that purpose, to be out on the flanks and to deal with whoever's there. Let's watch a bit of this. So many dead. It's like it's raining lightning. Can't wait to have a hold of that spell. I'm going to mess some mofos up. Still trying to get Trevold dead. I pulled Wulfric back because he was getting a bit of a beat down. Everything else seems to be routed now. It's just him left. Let's just pour everything into him now. This is why I said at the start of the battle not to clump up your units, is because of that lightning spell. But obviously I did that anyway because I'm a maniac. But I managed to survive. I've got a lot of routed units that I really need to pull back. It's all good. He's nearly dead. We'll finish him off. He's a beastie. He's basically Kolek, I think, is the idea, with a better spell. Speaking of spells, Wolfric's got this one, which is a wind spell, but it's actually pretty cool to watch. I'm just going to show you this. A boat comes out of nowhere and just mows down anyone in the way. Pretty different. I like it. There are still many units I haven't really experimented enough with yet from the Norsca roster, so I can't really give a full opinion on everything yet, but these have just been my findings so far. Hopefully we can finish off Treguard now. Go on, guys. Go berserk on him. I'm going to die any second. Get my trolls in there. Of course, you have all the frost abilities, which slow down the speed. There we go. Frost abilities of all the trolls, and there's a few other units that have it, which is also a pretty nice touch and very useful against many factions. But there we go. Treguard is defeated. Victory is ours. Monster spelly thing is acquired. Hopefully. Pyrrhic victory. Damn right. It was freaking close, but it's all good. We got a bit of time. Replenishment is nice and quick on this as well. I've been playing the Chaos campaign where replenishment is non-existent most of the time. So this is such a nice change of pace to actually be able to replenish armies and get straight back into the fight and not have to run off for 10 turns. But there we go. One monster felled. Many more to go.
The rewards, my lord.
Oh, there's also this stuff of the Norske side, so you get to pledge to a god. I'm sure you've probably seen it in the campaign videos from Total War. I'll scroll over all the things at the top so you can see. You can pause the video if you want to read them properly. I think I'm going to pledge to the crow because it spreads a disease across the world seemingly, which just sounded interesting, so I thought I'd go for that one. But there are some awesome rewards from reaching level 3. Of course, you have to erect pillars or little totems, or what do you call them, shrines. That's the word I was looking for. You have to erect shrines, but they can be destroyed by factions, so you have to try and protect them a little bit and put them in places where no one's hopefully going to go. But there we go. We've got the spell, which we can now use. I'm going to give that to Wolfric probably, and he can drop some lightning on people, and he will basically become Thor, which is, you know, always good. And with that, I think we shall conclude this here video. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at Norsca and any advice I may give you. I hope it's helpful in some way when you do come to playing Norsca. I will now leave you with the roster of Norsca, and I'll scroll over all the units. You can have a look at them, have a look at their stats, have a look at their prices, just so you can kind of get a little head start on everything that will be coming at you in a few days. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future.